on Ahkam Fiqh An-Nikah, marriage of a free man with a slave woman and vice versa. Now this is very important. If you want to marry a slave man for freed woman, or for freed man to marry a slave woman, it is not allowed in Islam. Because why? Because then the children will be slaves. And Islam is a religion which comes to clear slavery, not to create more slaves. Tamam. That is why Islam, as much as possible, they will prohibit from freed men getting married to slaves, or freed women to get married to slaves. Except slave with slave, there's no problem, with the permission of the master. Tamam. Rabbil firli wa tub alayya innaka antat tawwabur rahim. It is not allowed for a free man to marry a slave woman that is owned. Tamam. So as to prevent the progeny from being slaves as well, except for 4 conditions which allow him to marry a slave woman. Taib. Except for 4 conditions which allow him to marry a slave woman. Number 1, the slave is a Muslimah. If you're a free man, you want to marry a normal woman who are not slave, free woman, you can marry Muslimah, or you can marry from the Ahlul Kitab. But the conditions of Ahlul Kitab in Madhab Shafi'i is quite tight. She has to be from the children of Israel, which means she has to be from the descendants of the prophets. Because those people who are from the children of Israel, they are the descendants of prophets. And there are many other conditions which is put by Imam Shafi'i. We're not going to mention here. Number 1, she has to be a Muslimah if you want to marry her. Now you have to fulfill all 4 conditions before you are able to marry a woman slave woman. Number 1, the slave is a Muslimah. Number 2, there is fear of committing adultery if he does not get married. There's a possibility that he will commit adultery. He might do zina if he does not get married to a slave. Right? Number 3, he is unable to afford the stipulated dowry if he were to marry a free woman, or if there is a free woman, or if the free woman is not pleased with his offer. He's not able to pay dowry. The stipulated dowry. If he wants to marry a free woman, or if there's a free woman and is not pleased with his offer. Now he offered something. He has something, but it is not pleased by the free woman around him. Now this is the 3rd condition before you marry a woman slave. Number 4, there is no free woman. He does not possess any free woman who is fit for coitus, which means he doesn't have wife. If he has a wife, but he is not able to have relationship with his wife, because he is sick or whatever it is, that's a different story. When he buys his wife, now you get married to a slave. When you get married to a slave, when he buys his wife, the marriage contract is invalidated. Because why? Because now, when she got married to you, it is not out of her free will. She is instructed, or she was given to you by her master. When you buy her, and when you free her, khalas, now she is free. When she is free, the marriage contract is invalidated. Now it's according to her free will. If she wants, she will marry you. If she doesn't want, she doesn't marry you. Tamam. As for the slave men, they are not allowed to marry a free woman due to their insuitability. That's kafa'ah now. You are not allowed to get married for free woman. You are not allowed to get married to slave men, because why? It is not kufu. And kafa'ah, it is always have to be that the man is at the same level with the lady, or the man have to be more than the lady. That is kafa'ah. Tamam. And we have learned about kafa'ah before this. Suitability. Suitability. As for the slave men, they are not allowed to marry a free woman due to their insuitability, unless the free woman drops her suitability, drops her kafa'ah, and that her close guardian is pleased with her decision. Because why? Why the close guardian is involved? Because this is something that will humiliate her family members. It will disgrace the whole family member. If they agree, then she can get married to the slave man. Thus, in such cases, a slave man is allowed to marry a free woman in that case. Other than that, they are not allowed to get married to slave men, the ladies. These are the 4 conditions where you are allowed to marry a slave woman or a slave man. This is very simple. It's mentioned in the Quran by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Juz 5. What did Allah mention? What did Allah say? Juz 5. فَمَنْ لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ مِنْكُمْ طَوْلًا أَنْ يَنْكِحَ الْمُحْصَنَاتِ الْمُؤْمِنَاتِ. فَمِمَّا مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانُكُمْ أَوْ مُؤْمِنَاتٌ وَاللَّهُ أَعْلَمُ بِإِيمَانِكُمْ بَعْضُكُم مِّن بَعْضٍ. How to open this? Aywa. Just 6, just 5, just 4, just 5. Tamam. ذلك لمن خشي العنة منكم فإن أتينا بفاحشة فعليهن نصف ما على المحصنات من العذاب. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning about the had, the punishment of the slave woman who has fallen into zina, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said ذلك لمن خشي العنة منكم. That is for those people who are afraid that they will fall into zina. وَأَن تَصْبِرُوا خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ. But for you to be patient is better for yourselves. That is what said by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right. Now, female slaves. It is allowed for men to when he mentioned there is no free woman, he does not, there is no free woman, that's number 1. And he's not able to find any free woman with him. When he does not have any free woman, which means he doesn't have wives. At the same time, if he doesn't have slaves with him, female slaves. If he has female slaves with him, then it's not allowed for him to get married to female slaves. Now he has, an example, 2 or 3 slaves with him. He wants to get married to other people's slaves. You cannot get married to your own slaves. Tamam. You have to free her, then only you can get married to her. Otherwise, you are not able to get married to her. But if he wants to get married to other people's slaves, then you have to see whether you have slaves with you. Number 1, you will look. Do you have wives? No, you don't have 1, 2, 3, 4 wives. Do you have slaves, female slaves with you? Which is suitable for you to have a relationship with her? No, I don't. Yani, he doesn't have anything with him. Then you're allowed to marry female slaves. But if you have female slaves with you, then you're not allowed to get married to female slaves. Huh? And if you have a relationship with your slave, then she gives birth, number one, her child will be free. Because why? Because it's your children. For the man, your children. So it will be here, the children will be free. They will not be slaves. At the same time, they are considered as mar'ah mustawladah. Mustawladah. We have learned what is mustawladah. Any woman, any female slaves which has given birth to her for her master, tamam, she will be freed automatically as the master's death. At the master's death, which means once the master dies, she will be freed automatically. This is ruling by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why? We have mentioned the reason why. Why does female slaves mustawladah will be freed immediately as the master dies? Why? Huh? Why? Because the child cannot inherit their mother. Children cannot inherit their mother. Tamam. It is not from birth. It is against the teaching of Islam. That is why they will be freed immediately. How can you cannot treat your mother like a slave. You cannot, mashallah. How slaves, they are like wealth. Tamam. As how we have mentioned. If the masters die, then it will be inherited to their children. If the masters, he has slaves and they are not mustawladah, they have never given birth for the master, then the slaves will be inherited by the children. Now, if the master has a child from the slave and that child is free, now how can you let the child inherit his or her mother? Yeah? That is not according to the teachings of Islam. But what about if the child dies before the master dies? Khalas, this is mustawladah. She has given birth for you before. She will be freed immediately at the master's death. We have mentioned about this right before. Raji', revision, do revision. You should revise. We have covered about wife and polygamy, right? Have we covered? We have covered. Now we will go to as-sadaq, stipulated dowry. La ilaha illallah. Stipulated dowry. This is the biggest problem probably. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, when marriage becomes expensive, then zina will be cheap. When marriage becomes expensive, then zina will be cheap. In some narrations mentioned that when marriage becomes difficult, then zina becomes easy. So this is something that we have to ponder properly. The same goes to polygamy. If you make polygamy difficult, it means that you're making nikah difficult. If you make nikah difficult, then what will happen? Then zina becomes easy. That is why we should not discourage whatever Allah SWT has encouraged. If you don't like it, khalas, that's my own choice. I can't like it. Khalas, that's all. But you should never discourage on whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has encouraged. As-sadaq, stipulated dowry. There are few terms being used in the Quran. At-tawl, An-Nikah. This is what being used in the Quran. And in the hadith it is also mentioned as-sadaq and also al-atiyah. In Quran is mentioned An-Nikah and At-tawl. فَمَنْ لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ مِنْكُمْ طَوْلًا أَنْ يَنْكِحَ الْمُحْصَنَاتِ الْمُؤْمِنَاتِ. They all possess the same meaning. Tamam, as-sadaq, dowry, khalas, we know. In English is only one, dowry. It's actually dowry is from an Arabic word which is being used nowadays, but it is not mentioned in the fiqh books, because why? It has never been narrated in the language books of Arabic. Tamam. According to their linguistic meaning, it is a thing that is necessary due to a marriage. That is as-sadaq. A thing that is necessary due to a marriage. If you get married to someone, then you have to give her sadaq. And this sadaq will be specified by the hukam, by the leaders, by the judges, or by the leaders, by the Islamic leaders. It is a thing that is necessary due to a marriage. And according to the jurisprudential meaning, fiqh, shar'an, linguistically meaning is lughatan, and jurisprudential meaning is shar'an. According to when this term is mentioned in knowledge of shara', the knowledge of fiqh. Sometimes these terms being used in other knowledge can give a different meaning, but now we are discussing on the knowledge of fiqh. So according to fiqh, it is a thing that is obligatory upon the man. Number one, it is obligatory upon the man, intended for the lady, often due to a marriage. No, often, not always. Often due to a marriage or an ambiguous relationship, or the likes of it. It is a thing that is obligatory upon the man, intended for the lady. Now sadaq has to be given to the lady before you have relationship with her. After marriage, immediately. As long as you do not give the lady the sadaq, she has the right to not give herself for you, for the guys, for the man. This is wajib. So sadaq has to be given to who? To the lady or to the parents? To the lady, not to the parents. But sadaq is not much. Probably wallahu alam. 8 years ago it was $100. Today, still $100. MashaAllah, good. So you have to give this $100 or something which is equivalent to $100 to the lady before you have relationship with her. Tamam. After the nikah. As long as you have not surrendered this $100 to her, she has the right to prevent herself from you. No, you're not allowed to come to me. Why? I have not received my sadaq yet. I have not received my dowry yet. But I've given your father $10,000, not $100. $10,000. Then go to my father. That is the reality of sadaq. It's meant for her, not for the father. Because they have made marriage so difficult. Must have this, must have that, must have this, must have that, up to an extent that a marriage will not cost anything less than $20,000. La ilaha illallah. Tamam. The young boy have this amount of money. I don't know. I don't have such money. Tamam. Make it easy. Tamam. And one of the ways that which is practiced in our culture is that when you get married, then someone will give you an envelope. MashaAllah, it will help. If in Tarim, the relatives will give money even before the marriage. Because why? Because when you get married, you need expenses. You have bills to pay, all these things, expenses, food, tents, and everything. So they give the money even before marriage. They help their family members. Tamam. Rabbi firli wa tub alayya innaka anta tawwabur rahim. Now that is very important. And keep marriage as simple as possible. The most honorable creation, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he got married with a very simple marriage. MashaAllah. Very simple wedding. Tamam. That is the most honorable man, the most honorable woman. Sayyidah Fatimah az-Zahra radiyallahu anha. It was also a simple wedding between her and Ali radiyallahu anhu. She got She got engaged in the afternoon or in the morning. In the evening she got married. MashaAllah. No 2 years contract, no 1 year contract. Nowadays, MashaAllah, even the engagement is already like a marriage. And then 4 years, wait. You have to get degree first before you get married. MashaAllah. What can my degree do to my marriage? Come on. When I go to my wife, this is my degree. What can you do? What can the degree teach you for in a married in a household? What can the degree do to you? Yes, it might help you to get some decent job and this and that, but it shouldn't be a requirement. Now people have their requirements above imagination. They want first, they want to have this, they want to have that, and then some, MashaAllah. Yes, some people it's not easy for them to find partner, but some other people, it is not because it is not easy for them to find partner, they are just so fussy in choosing. My husband has to be like this, like this, like this, like this. MashaAllah. Wait. Until you find that person. 1 in a million or less than 1 in a million. You have to be reasonable. We are human. You find. Rasulullah SAW has taught us, as long as you find someone who has anana, someone who has akhlaq, marry. These are for the ladies. For the men, you say someone who has religion. Fadfar bidhatid din, taribat yadak. Choose the one who has religion and you will wash your hands. It's very easy. Now you want someone with beauty. No, she has to reach this standard. No, her weight need to be 45 kilo. And her height has to be 180. MashaAllah. What's this? These are all, subhanAllah, you chase for wealth, you chase for nasab, you chase for beauty, nothing lasts. MashaAllah, now she's beautiful, 23, 24, 25, give her 15 years, khalas, everything changed. If you keep on chasing after beauty, then it will never end. Why? There's always someone who's more beautiful than her in this way, in some or other. There's no such thing as one woman have all the complete beauty, all the way you want. Or the same goes for ladies, for men. There's some likeness everywhere here and there. The most important is that you have someone who has religion, who fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who knows ahkam al-sharia, who knows the laws of religion, so that he's able to obey Allah, he's able to lead your family. What can you do with your children if your wife is beautiful? Tamam. MashaAllah, I need a beautiful wife. Then your children, how can she use her beauty to educate the children? In whatever ways? Same goes to ladies. Man, how can he use his wealth to educate the children? La. You need fear of Allah, you need religion, you need to have love for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to educate your children. Tamam. Rabbighfirli wa tub alayya innaka antat tawwabur rahim. Now, it is a thing that is obligatory upon the man, intended for the lady. For the lady, number one. That is what we have to understand, not for the parents of the lady. Often due to a marriage. When you get married to someone, it is wajib for you to hand over the sadaq, or what we call it, the dowry, before you come near her, before you have a relationship with her. Now, if divorce happened before you come to her, then she deserves half of the dowry. Which means she's untouched. And you divorce her, she deserves half of the dowry. If you have touched her, then she deserves the full dowry. Intended for a lady, often due to a marriage or an ambiguous relationship. Now, brothers, they get married together. Tamam. They get married together. And then after the marriage, all the ceremony has done, they went to the wrong room. They went to the wrong room. After everything has completed, then they found out, oh, this is not my wife. This is wata' shubha. This is wata' shubha. So what happened? What happens if you have done wata' shubha? You have to give her sadaqah. You have to pay. Pay her. Khalas, $100. Then that's all. And then change back. Oh, sorry. Ask for forgiveness, what to do. Mistaken, not purposely. The same goes for those people who are involved in zina. Every time you are involved in zina, you have to pay the lady her sadaq. Wajib. Tamam. Either the zina is being done if the zina is being done willingly or unwillingly, you have to pay her sadaq every time. Tamam. That is why people who do something which is haram, they have more and more haram things behind them, not knowing about the things which they have to pay in Islam. It is haram. Number one, zina is haram. Number two, you have to pay sadaq to her. Not in exchange for what you have done to her, but it is not known as exchanged, but it is known as something which you have to cover it with. There are things being used in Sharia, being said in Sharia, like you have to pay her because you had a relationship with her. That's all. It is not service fee or whatever it is. It is not like that. So this is what you have to pay if you had haram relationship with a woman. رَبِّ اغْفِرْ لِي وَتُبْ عَلَيَّ إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ التَّوَّابُ الرَّحِيمُ. Now what is dowry? Definition of dowry, or which is known as al-mahr. Now this is another name, which is known as al-mahr. Dowry is defined as any item that is valid in the process of trading, or which has purchasing power, and thus it is allowed to be used as dowry. If the trading or purchasing is invalid, then the item involved is not allowed to be used as dowry. Dowry is defined as any item that is valid in the process of trading. Sometimes when you trade, you don't use money. You use rice with tamar, dates. You use raisins with flour. Or you use anything in terms of food, things, anything. That is what you will use in trading. And sometimes you use money. Those days, the Quraysh, most of the time when they trade, they don't use cash. They don't use money. The Romans, they are the ones who used a lot of dinar and dirham, gold coins and silver coins. But the Arabs, the Quraysh, they used to use a lot of commodities. Metals, with food, with vehicles, with whatever it is. Exchange. That is trading. So anything which is valid to be used in trading, you can give it as a mahr. An example, you want to buy a Gucci wallet for your future wife, mashallah. Can you sell that? Yes, you can buy. Or anything else. And how do you want to know whether this can be used in trading or not? Then you have to learn mu'amalat. You have to learn mu'amalat. Generally, things which cannot be traded are those things which is number one, which is najasa, filth. You cannot use for trading. This is in Madhab Shafi'i. You cannot use najasa in trading. Anything which is najis. Number two, anything which is worthless, with no purpose. An example, our scholars always like to mention like blood. Those days, blood has no value. Blood, what can you do with blood those days? But today there comes a discussion because why? Now blood is being used. Blood can be used. So now how our scholar says, they say that animal's blood. Today we say as animal's blood. Because why? Animal's blood cannot be put in human. Is that right? Is that right or not? Anyone studying medicine here? Can animal's blood be used in human? So cannot, it is worthless. Khamr, wine. It is not allowed. Why? Because it's najasa. It is najasa. Or an example, something that you don't own cannot be used. An example, I get married. An example, eagle. If you own an eagle, mashallah, if you are able to sell eagle, it might be very, very expensive. But you say, I get married to you, or I accept the marriage contract with the eagle which is flying in the sky. You don't own the eagle. Hey, this is mentioned in the book, fake book. I'm not joking. This is how exactly it is mentioned in the fake book. Tamam. At-tuyur fil hawa. It is wealth. It is valuable, but you don't own it. So it is nullified. It is not considered sahih, the nikah. And then they will distribute it to two categories. Sometimes the nikah can be right. Sometimes the nikah will not be right. If the nikah is right, then it is obligatory upon you to give the sadaq, the mahar, the stipulated dowry. Even with it, which when wrong things is mentioned. Anything which is allowed to be used in trading, you can use it for sadaq. Nowadays, mashallah, they might not want to give cash. They might want to give a ring. They want to give bracelet, necklace, bracelet, or watch, or whatever it is. Not in the form of cash. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy, inshallah, marriage nowadays. Imam Umar. Who's Imam Umar? Sayyidina Umar. Sayyidina Umar, when they made marriage expensive during his time, what did he say? Anyone which make it more than 500 dirham for the dowry, for the sadaq, for the mahar, for the atiyah, for the nihla, or what we call it, hantaran. Anyone which makes it more than 500 dirham, then it will be taken by the Baitul Mal. And then the lady, Shifa binti Abdullah. Shifa binti Abdullah told him, Ya Umar, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِنْ أَرَدْتُمُ اسْتِبْدَالَ زَوْجٍ مَكَانَ زَوْجٍ فَلَا تَأْخُذُوا مِنْهُ وَآتَيْتُمْ إِحْدَاهُنَّ قِنْطَارًا فَلَا تَأْخُذُوا مِنْهُ شَيْئًا. If you have given them with a big amount of wealth, then you should not take anything from them. And then Sayyidina Umar said that Umar was wrong and the lady is right. And then he said something else. He said that whosoever wants to marry their daughter to other people, then they should make it easy for them. Whosoever make it easy for people, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make it easy for him in dunya and akhirah. Tamam? Rabbi ighfirli wa tub alayya innaka antat tawwabur rahim. MashaAllah. So students shouldn't have any problem to get married. Number one, when you want to get married, you need few things. Number one, you need mahar, which is $100. MashaAllah. You need mahar. Number two, you are able to give nafaqah to your wife, is for the men, for 1 day and 1 night. 1 day and 1 night. Number three, you know that you will take care of this. You will take care of this lady. If you have these three things, then get married. That's all you need. Tamam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make this thing easy in this kind of time. Amin ya Rabbal Alamin. Rasulullah SAW has mentioned that marriage will be difficult. MashaAllah, those days, our grandfather, our grandmother, they get married at 15, 16, no problem. Nowadays, even 25 when you get married, difficult. Done. No, you wait. You get PhD. MashaAllah. No, you wait. Until when? While we respect our parents, they might have their choices and everything, but they have to know that we are the one who's getting married. Parents have to understand that their children is the one who's getting married, not the parents. The parents are the one who's getting married. At times, children should also be fair to understand that yes, their parents might understand what is the best for them. At the same time, the parents shouldn't make it difficult for them to get married to whoever they want, anytime they want. If children is asking for marriage, mashallah, the parents should be happy. Because why? Because he is seeking for something which is halal. He is not seeking for something which is haram. And then you should guide them by giving them advices. By my son or my daughter, now you want to get married. Are you prepared for marriage? Do you know the responsibility of a husband? Do you know the responsibility of a wife? Are you prepared to have children? Because you know, once you get married, you will have children. Don't say that, no, we will not have children. You will have children. It will happen. Now, are you prepared to have children? Or this or that? Have to make the children understand, rather than just simply saying that, no, you don't get married. You're not ready for that. I know I want to get married, you say that I'm not prepared for that. This is something which is unable to be controlled. This is a fitrah Allah SWT has put in men and women. They want to get married. You say, control, wait, no, cannot. It is impossible. The only way to solve it is get married. In this zaman, yes, for some people, for some very, very few people, fasting might be beneficial. But other than those few, mashallah, it will not benefit. Stipulated dowry is a dowry that reflects the desirability to marry a woman based on her status, her lineage, and her state of virginity. So now, in reality, there's different amount of mahar depending on different women. And this is something that the authority have to be aware of. It is not just one rate. You have to assess how much she deserves. What is the dowry that she deserves? In Tarim they have such a thing. For the Ahlul Bayt, they have a certain amount. For the non-Ahlul Bayt, they have a certain amount. For the Ahlul Bayt, as what I remember, you have to give them Yemeni Riyal. Yemeni Riyal is not like Saudi Riyal. Yemeni Riyal is very small. You have to give them $100,000. 100,000 Riyal. 100,000 Riyal is about $500. For the Ahlul Bayt, 500 USD. For the non-Ahlul Bayt, from the Mashayikh, especially Al-Khatib and Bafadal, you have to give them 30,000 Riyal, which is about 150 USD. That's the dowry. Other than that, it's all marriage expenses and this and that. That is according to what I remember, what they practice in Tarim. At the same time, they are still using the same what has been done by Sheikh Omar Al-Miftah in Tarim. He specified a particular amount of silver for the ladies of Al-Bayt. So it is being used until today. They don't mention riyals, they even mention that amount of silver. Every time they get married, they mention that amount of silver. Like, why they use silver? Why they don't use gold? Why they like to mention silver and not gold? The scholars, of course, some people they might have their choices to give gold or whatever it is. But at the marriage contract, they always mention silver, not gold. Why? Because Rasulullah ﷺ doesn't like to see his family members has gold on their necks. Fatimah al-Zahra radiyallahu anha once had a gold necklace. Rasulullah took from her neck, and Rasulullah gave it for sadaqah. And Rasulullah doesn't like to see gold on his Al-Bayt. Rasulullah doesn't never educate his children to have any kind of love or honor for dunya at all. That is the way of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That is just preferences of Rasulullah. It is not makruh, it is not haram to put on jewelry on your neck or on your body. But if you want to follow the exact way of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then that is the way. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he doesn't like, his lifestyle will destroy the hearts of the fuqara, of the poor. It's a dowry that reflects the desirability to marry a woman based on her status, her lineage, her state of virginity. As for musamma, musamma is more like a hadiyah. It is what that has been mentioned during the marriage contract. What do you mention during the marriage contract? That is what is called as musamma. Sometimes musamma is according to the same amount of dowry. Sometimes musamma might be more than the dowry. Sometimes the gift is not even mentioned in the marriage contract, which is either the stipulated dowry or something which is lesser or more than that. That's how we have mentioned. No, that mentioning the dowry during the time of marriage contract is recommended. It's recommended to mention the dowry which is agreed. Try not to hide. Mention it so people will know how much people value. Ladies are not for sale. Doesn't come with a price, but it comes in a way to honor the family. In a way to honor the family, but not like what is happening today. 8,000, 10,000, 12,000. This is too much. It's making it difficult for people to get married. An example, you know, $500, $1,000, a decent range. And it is obligatory in certain situations which have been mentioned in advanced jurisprudential books. We're not going to mention here. Sometimes it is wajib for the mahar to be mentioned or sadaq to be mentioned at the marriage contract, at the agad. Right? If she is not mufawwidah, she deserves the stipulated dowry due to the marriage contract. We will explain what is mufawwidah after this. If she is not mufawwidah, then she needs to receive the amount of the stipulated dowry. An example, nowadays we say $100 or $500, something like that. So she needs to receive that amount of money before she surrenders herself to the husband. Right? She deserves the stipulated dowry due to the marriage contract. Once the marriage contract happens, she can demand for that dowry. If she's a mufawwidah, what is mufawwidah? Such that she said to her guardian, now this is mufawwidah, marry me without a dowry. Marry me without a dowry. And her guardian married her off, then the dowry is obligatory through one of the three situations. Which means, if she says that, marry me without dowry, then she does not receive dowry except for if she falls into one of these three situations. Number one, the prospective husband make it obligatory upon himself to give her stipulated dowry immediately with her approval of it. An example, he make nadar, or he swear with the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What time is Maghrib? 7:20. It's just nice. An example, she says that, marry me without a husband. And then he said that, I promise with the name of Allah to give my wife the dowry as soon as I get married. So now he has to give her dowry. Number two, the ruler's decision. If the husband refused to pay, or he and his wife has a disagreement in the amount of the dowry. Normally people will use this amount, and then come, disagree. Just got married. What was the dowry? And he gave $100. No, not $100, $300. I thought it was $100. No, you know me, I come from this lineage, I'm a rich woman, I have status. But I can give you $100. I want to give you only $100. No, it's $300. Yallah, go to the ruler. The ruler decide, and then give the dowry, and then khalas. The ruler will decide for the stipulated dowry. And then third, and if the husband have had coitus with his wife or through the death of one of the two types. Number 3, now the sadaq is not mentioned. How much? It is not mentioned in the marriage contract that the sadaq or the mahar or the dowry is this amount. Then he went to her. Then they had relationship together. Right? And then after that, she said, "Where's my dowry?" He's keeping her dowry. Maybe because of whatever reason. It happens a lot in marriage, this kind of thing. Except that when people are not aware, when they don't have knowledge, then that is why ladies are not asking for their dowry from the husband. Because why? You don't have knowledge. Your father has taken the dowry. Tired, go to my father and ask for the dowry. Give it to me. You give it to me. When the husband gives to the father, it is like a wakalah. It is like commissioning the father to pass this to your daughter. As long as the wakala has not reached, as long as the father is commissioned to give to the daughter and it has not reached the daughter, khalas. It's your responsibility, it's not the father's responsibility. The most important is you make sure that she receives the dowry. But nowadays, mashallah, I don't think, Allahu Alam, if someone is going to fight on the marriage night, first night because of dowry. Well, dowry. With his wife or through the death of one of the two. As how we have mentioned earlier, the wife deserves the full stipulated dowry with or without coitus. After the marriage contract, regardless if the one who died is the husband or wife. Now the husband get married to the wife. They have not had any relationship. And then the husband died. She deserves full dowry. She deserves full dowry. The husband married to the wife. They have not had any relationship yet. And then the wife dead. She deserves full dowry, even though she's dead. Then where the dowry will go to? To her inheritors. The father, the mother, the siblings, maybe sometimes go back to the husband. The most important is that you put the dowry there first. And it will be distributed according to fara'id. If you have any questions, then you should post it. We will answer next class, inshallah. That's the best way. So that if there's anything that I could double check, I could get more information, that will be better. Come on. And that also makes you come next week. Make sure you come next week to hear your own answer. وَبِالْفِلِّ وَتُمْ عَلَيَّ إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ التَّوَّابُ الرَّحِيمُ